What's up, my little TinkerJoes? It's a lovely day on Blistering Sands. We got oGsTheWind here spawning up in the top corner, and NEXGenius spawning down here in the bottom corner. Now, Blistering Sands is one of those maps that no race is particularly successful with. The expansion is always an awkward thing to defend. I have heard, although I am not a Terran player, as we all know I am a Zerg player, I've heard for Terran players it's very difficult to defend these back rocks. I am going to throw up the production tab for you interested while I talk here. It's very difficult to defend your base as a Terran player with these back rocks that are so vulnerable, that make your base so hard to defend. But I think all players find it just a little bit difficult to deal with as on the whole. So it's a great map in the map pool, and I hope it's here to stay. Where do we got this Overlord queued? Let's look at this. So great. He's sending out his Overlord here, and this is a great place to put one. Back here is also really nice. You can get vision if they're doing like a Forge Fast Expand, or if they're doing a lag expand, like NEXGenius here, just kind of lagging me up. And everything looks very standard from NEXGenius, like 9 pylon, 12 gateway. Looks like we are seeing a 14 extractor, 13 spawning pool for oGsTheWind. Also very standard. On this map, you want to get speedlings so you can safely expand, move around, have map control, have the threat of a run-by for the Protoss player. Maybe work on his back rocks. Keep him on the back foot. Keep him on the back foot so you can expand. And because a Zerg on one base honestly is no threatening Zerg at all, especially on Blistering Sands here. We got another pylon going down for NEXGenius. Excellent timing. If you just look at this probe is about to pop. This is excellent timing. Very smooth build order coming from the Protoss player here. And it looks like we might see some 2 gateway pressure for our Zerg player, and this is a great build right now. Although patch 1.1 is out right now, Battle.net servers are still down because they need a little extra time for maintenance. It does... He hasn't seen this double gateway, but it does look like oGsTheWind has rather sage-like intuition. He's just throwing down this Roach Warren, because that's exactly what you need to respond against a double gateway pressure here. Cybernetics core going down, so maybe we won't see as many zealots as foretold by me here, but kind of a funky build coming from NEXGenius. I certainly haven't seen this before. Usually it's gateway into 16 or 18 cybernetics core, double gateway. As we can see, he's not producing out of the second one, which is exactly why. Sorry about the lag, folks. I am not sure what's going on here. Hurry up! So, as we can see, he's not producing out of the second gateway, which is exactly why you have that cybernetics core down. Kind of weird. Kind of weird, but everything seems pretty standard over here. We should see oGsTheWind expanding pretty soon now that he's got a couple of these roaches out here on the battlefield. Moving in some Zerglings just to do a little bit of scouting information, working on these back rocks. Let's see. There are no pylons over here to detect whether or not these Zerglings are working on the back rocks or not. So very interesting, and I think we will be seeing a 4-gate build. Exactly, 4 gateways for the Protoss player NEXGenius here. 2 sentries warping in just so we can keep the pressure off his front ramp here. Keep Zerglings out of there. We'll throw down some force fields maybe to trap Zerglings inside. And goddamn lag! So there we go, the lag's good now. And yeah, we can see this sentry moving in to do a little damage there. Keep these Zerglings from finding out any information, and we can see he has moved in here with his roaches to work on these back rocks. Sentry just kind of zapping everything he can, and this will be an interesting situation for our Protoss player. He does need some stalkers at these back rocks, because right now these roaches are doing a lot of damage, and they will break this down pretty soon. More roaches, more lings moving in. Lings do have speed. Working off one base here. This could get real bad real quick for our Protoss player. Getting warp gates right now. Needs to warp in some Stalkers immediately, and I think that's exactly what we will see. 3 Stalkers coming in for the Protoss player. And these rocks are about to go down, so this could get real ugly for NEXGenius here. Moving in with the Roaches tentatively. Having the Lings just kind of circle around here. Moving in. Oh, man. And I think just it's going to have to pull probes off or do something drastic here because these Lings are just doing work right now. These Roaches just blasting this down. Moving in with the Lings and Roaches. Moving back into the mineral line with his Stalkers and Sentry. Throwing down these excellent force fields. Getting some free lane kills. These Lings are doing some damage to the probe line, though. And these Roaches continue to do lots of damage. And he doesn't want to get Psy-blocked here. That could get real bad. He's 4 away from being Psy-blocked. Continuing to put the pressure on with the Lings, with the Roaches. And NEXGenius is forced to just move back in a defensive posture into his mineral line. Lings are just continuing to come in here, pour in. And he is now blasting down these gateways. And this could get really bad for NEXGenius if he loses too many gateways. Going and focusing down another gateway. Now he's moving in with the army, pulling back. And oGsTheWind is continuing to pour the aggression on here. This could get so bad. Oh man, he is down to 2 warp gates. What is he going to be able to do? He's warping in 2 gateways back here. And maybe an excellent move by oGsTheWind here. Expanded while he was using that aggression. And now he's moving back. He's not overcommitting to the attack. And sometimes it's something you have to remember as a StarCraft 2 player. You can do damage and get out. You don't have to commit to an attack. You don't have to lose every unit. You don't have to inflict as much damage as you possibly can with all your units. As we can see, oGsTheWind suffered maybe a few Ling losses, didn't even lose a Roach, did some damage, put him on the back foot here, probably made him stop producing out of his Nexus quite possibly. He does have quite a formidable army here though, so I don't think oGsTheWind here can get too comfortable throwing down several spine crawlers, and that's what you gotta do against a 4-gate because just Lings and Roaches are not going to be enough unless you just mass produce and completely neglect your drone production as a Zerg player. So Lair is just morphing in here, looks like, and continuing to make drones. That's very important. You can't forget about your production here when you're just in this looming fear of a 4-gate. His Overlord is seeing this army move out, and he's got Lings over here maybe for a flank. Maybe for, oh my god, that could be an insane counterattack if he does move in here with those Lings as soon as the Protoss player moves out. Kind of just testing the water with these Stalkers, seeing what's possible. These Lings are ready to launch in a counterattack, and tons of spine crawlers going down here. Excellent move by oGsTheWind, and where are his Roaches hanging out at? Those boys just kind of disappeared, didn't they? We do have a rather hearty party of Lings here, and like I was saying, if this Protoss army does move out, these Lings are going to be able to move in and do a ton of damage to the probe line, and that's something you got to be constantly fearing as a Protoss player. We can see that he's just kind of putting the Protoss player on the defensive here. Oh man, and these Stalkers are just not going to be enough to deal with this. Moving in with the whole army. I'm not sure about this whole Ling sacrifice here because these Lings, they don't really have any way out of here if any decent force fields do go down. Losing quite a few probes though, and trying to move out the front here. Yeah, force fields going down. These Lings got nowhere to go. And on the production tab, we do see a lot of Roaches being produced here by oGsTheWind, and these should be enough to hold off this big attack party coming out for NEXGenius here. A lot of spine crawlers here to deal with this army, but if he does lose these back rocks, he's going to be in an awkward position, producing more Zerglings, Glial Reconstitution on the way so we can get this Roach Army to be a little bit more mobile. Throwing down even more Spine Crawlers, Artosis style. And if you haven't seen a game with Artosis versus a 4-gate before, he is not afraid to throw down a ton of spines. Roaches are getting absolutely blasted by these Stalkers. Great force fields going down for the Protoss player. These Roaches are getting absolutely annihilated. Lings are finally getting past there, and these Spine Crawlers are able to poke away. These Spine Crawlers are about to hatch as well, or spawn, or complete, or whatever. Oh man, these Roaches are getting absolutely blasted though. This is horrible. More Lings on the way, and I think this could get really ugly for oGsTheWind, pulling all his drones off the line. Oh boy. When I saw that number of Roaches, I thought he could definitely handle this 4-gate, but this rather robust group of 18 Stalkers is proving very, very difficult for oGsTheWind to deal with. Pulling his probes off once again. Oh, and they're just about to get fried by these Stalkers. He needs some more Hydralisks or something. He does have this Hydra Den, but looks like it's about to get blasted down by these Stalkers, and I don't know what oGsTheWind can do at this point. I think he's got a GG, because these Stalkers are just way too many, and we get the GG from oGsTheWind. I hope you enjoyed this cast on Blistering Stands. Two incredible Korean players duking it out. Alright, have a good one.